Okay, so let me check that we are indeed live. The mic is registering, not like the past times. I seem to have audio, at least it's registering in OBS. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me well, hopefully. If you can't, you won't be able to answer me, so... Anyways, I think it should be okay. I could check on my phone. Give me a sec. Can I hear myself? Whoops. Can I hear myself? Am I live? Yes, I'm live and there is audio, so that should be okay. Welcome, welcome. So, today is the last stream I will be doing on this collide and slide algorithm because I have finally figured it out. So, if we check it, actually, let me go a bit bigger. So we have different scenarios, different situations, and all of them should behave correctly. So if I start, when they can go through the obstacle, they do, and when they need to remain stuck, they do remain stuck on the ground. So this one went on to continue. So this one is a climbable surface, so it can climb over even if the slope is too steep, which is not the case here, which is why this one is stuck at the bottom. This one was just to test that if there is a step that is not straight, I do continue straight. This one is a bit tricky because if I start it again, this is the one that took me some time to figure out. Last time I was stuck. So if I move step by step, you can see that when I hit the slope, it's first trying to register it as a step. So it's trying to go over it with a step because the slope is too steep. But if initially what I was doing is just move the capsule at the level of the collision and trying to cast forward, but it's not working because the step is the movement would hit the slope and say it's too steep, so not go over it. Yet this distance is lower than my maximum step height, so it would make sense that the character should be able to step above it. So what I'm doing actually here is trying to cast not from the step height, but from the maximum step height, so I can go over it. And to avoid colliding with, let's say, a ceiling or something, by using the full capsule height, I'm actually shrinking down the capsule to leave him just enough space to represent the capsule if it was on the potential height step, so this one here. So it could still allow the capsule to go through tight spaces that it's not supposed to, but I think it's the best compromise I can get to both manage the height of the step if it's not a straight step, and avoid as much as possible the being stuck on the ceiling. So you could, if you wanted to be more restrictive, use the full capsule height, but visually that would make the player think that it can go through it, and in fact it's blocked because of the ceiling. So that's why I chose to shrink down the capsule. For the other ones, so like I said, this one is to go straight. This one is to check that I can go over a step, and if I'm hitting something on top of me on the ceiling, I stay stuck, not shifting. Initially I was slightly moving sideways. This one is the same kind of behavior. I'm trying that if I'm colliding with both faces at the same time, so if I move forward, I do get stuck in the middle and I don't go through the tight gap there is. This one is no collision, so that's just normal displacement. This one is sliding along the wall, and this one is moving through a pile of random objects. Sorry. To check that I am going in a straight line. So if I try to align it, it's doing some cast to check, but the capsule is at the end of the frame always on the ground. And it's still going straight per the path that you want to take, and not shifting around like I had in one of the previous episodes. This one, same thing. If I'm hitting a wall straight on, head on, at a perpendicular angle, I'm not moving anymore. And this one is one that is testing that I'm not going backwards. So basically, one of the behaviors that I had is that the movement direction is towards the top of the screen. And if I was sliding here and then hitting here, I could continue sliding, but effectively going in the opposite direction of the one I want. So this one is checking that I don't move against the direction I want by bouncing on different walls. And this one is trying actually the ceiling when there is a step. So for this one, I take the step that I'm hitting and casting above, and I'm already hitting something above me, so I can't go through this space. And technically I should maybe have considered going sideways here, because it can still move sideways along this line. So that could be an improvement to bring to the algorithm. And this last one is to check that even if I have like a weird shape step, and if the slope behind that step is too steep, I'm not going to step up. So if I change it here a little bit, the step, and put this step to which one is it? Is it this one? This one, if I put it at 44, because my maximum slope is 45, I should be able to go over it. So yeah, I'm going over it. Okay, so for this one, I actually kind of want to have the behavior I just described, meaning that the capsule should continue along this path and then step up. So let me think how I can do that. Because I am colliding here, it should probably consider so normally the black capsule is doing a cast down at the end of the whole algorithm to check the support that I have, and I think it should be hitting this one, but I'm not sure. So let's actually change a bit the debug here. I want to debug the full collision, so the screen is not as I expect. I think it's somewhere around here. That should be fine, and I will zoom in because it's too small. Okay, let me know if you cannot see clearly the screen, because I'm missing sometimes the setup. So I want to debug the full collision, so I add somewhere along here, something like that. I want to draw a line, capsule, and a row at the end here. So I'm already drawing the capsule. That's good. At the start position, the line should be from the start position. So this is a casting line. Actually, I don't want that. I just want obvious color of what is the normal and where it is. So actually, I just need that arrow from the position of the hit with the normal. And let's make a color magenta. Okay. No, okay, so here here the thing is that after the whole algorithm, the last step is saying, okay, the support is horizontal. And then when I continue, I'm trying to move, I'm hitting this one, which is considered a step. Yeah. So my issue here is that I'm first doing this. No, it should work. Where is my classification? So let's assume, oops, here at the end of the frame, I'm at this position saying that the ground is flat and I'm trying to move towards the step. When I start my bounce, I will move straight forward because it's considered the ground. Then when I move I'm moving the distance of the fraction, but the fraction here should be 0. I could not move. I'm detecting something and I classify the hit. So based on that hit, here I have two yellow normals, and I'm considering two steps. It's a bit strange. Because what I want is to say, okay, first I try it as a step. If it's not a step, then it should be considered a wall. So if it's above the max slope, it could be a step or a wall. I'm trying to see if it's a step. So if the maximum height is below my height step, if my height step is below my maximum step height, that could be a step, which is why I classify it as a step. But if it's a step, then if it was already considering it as a step, then it should not do that and go say it's either a wall or a cliff based on the physics collision layer that I'm on. And once I've classified it, going back to where it's used, I'm continuing here, so no change. We will try the next bounce because we still have some distance left to go through. And on the next bounce, we arrive here. Here, it should be a step. So if it's a step, I'm doing the custom cast to shrink down the capsule. Which is... there is too many debugs here. Let me comment that there is a replace all option now. Refactor. No, how can I replace that? Struggling to use Rider. There is no replace. Control H. Shift F6. Thank you. Shift F6. No. Not Shift F6. Trying the other one. Neither. No, it's a good try, but not that. It's probably H. Control H. Okay. So if I replace this by that, okay, he's just not happy with many of these. Oops. Okay, where do I have other ones here? These are not soft wrap. This one is not one either. Okay, and how are you? Do you have any questions on anything? Or are you just enjoying the music and the company in the struggle of developing some stuff? Still this one, and yeah. Okay. That should be all of them. Okay, so I no longer have any debug. So let's place the debug where they matter. So if I re-enable this one, these one are basically throwing the step cast. So for the step cast, I am seeing that. Okay, so the normal is straight up for this one. It's considering it to be straight up. Am I the one redirecting it? Yes, I am the one redirecting it. So actually, let's draw the normal before that and not the normal after. And I screwed something up. Yeah, I commented something that should not have been commented. Never mind. Okay, so the real normal is somewhat coherent. So is my only issue the fact that I'm redirecting the normal? Why am I doing that also? Because I'm not using it here. So can I actually just not reset the normal because I'm not using it in the cast direction, am I? No, I'm not. So did that break any other stuff? So this one is passing, this other one seem to be okay, this one too. So now remains the issue of why are you not considering it as a wall the second time? So let's add this one back. And remove these. So this one is just the normal. Okay, so it doesn't help me a whole lot. We only move if we have enough space to move, so that's good. And actually, let's draw. This one was just a debug. I remove it. Let's draw it only if it was a step. So if I discover the step, what is now the normal? It did not change. So when I classify the support, I am expecting for this to not be drawn. And it is. So that's my step height, and I have two labels. Don't know why there are two labels. Calculating the slope. The slope is obviously above the maximum angle. Maximum slope that I can step on. The distance is 0.39, so I'm below my maximum step height, which is 1. But it seems to be saying that the support type is not the step. So what is it? Let's take this one and draw that. I'm not sure it will consider it as a text. Ground. So it's considering it to be the ground. Yes, it's considering... No, why? Why? Is it because of you? But if it's because of you, you should be on the next one. Be in the loop. So in the loop, you should not consider this. When I get my normal here. This, no, collided, yes. Draw text. Is this one that I'm seeing? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's where my second label comes from. So if it's a step, I'm showing the distance I traveled, which is 0 minus my safety distance. And when I classify this, so actually here, let's draw the normal. So let's copy this. What is my current normal when I'm doing that? No, that's not the normal. That's a text. I want to draw the actual normal. Where did all my draw go? Okay, let's pick this one. That's why I need to clean up the code, because there is so many debugs in there to figure out stuff that it's getting very, very messy. And I'm losing track of where I should put my stuff. So I need to refactor, extract some methods like I started here to classify the support and do the debugs. So that's my normal. Okay, so the normal is absolutely not where I'm expecting it to be. So it's kind of normal because I'm casting above myself, so I'm hitting the ceiling and considering that as my next bounce. So should I ignore it? Basically say, okay, if this is a step, only move if it's not a step, or if there is sufficient space for the next step. And should I do the same thing and only change the support? I'm considering if I actually move. I do that. Ooh, it moved. Okay. Is that... Yes, that was it. It didn't screw this one, didn't this one. Okay. This one is wait, no collision, so that's okay. Okay, perfect. Everyone is working as expected. Hooray! Victory! So that solved the last case, and I see that I left some magic numbers, so I will need to update those. So this one is for debug, so let's clean up the debugs. And we will comment. We will add some comments to explain the different behaviors. And while we do that, we will also extract the methods and do some adjustments, let's say. So in default, I don't do anything, so there is nothing to do. Okay. That's good. This one I need to not assume that anymore. Apparently it's working if I don't, so I guess I don't have to assume that. That's the cliff. This one is a debug. And that should be the last of it, hopefully. Okay, let's check if we didn't break anything yet. Okay, and we still have a debug somewhere. So if you are wondering, this library is OpenUPM library made by Vertex, and it's working in all environment, so all dots environment. So it's working with ECS in systems, it's working in jobs, it's working with burst. So I'm not sure it's as performant as Align, but it's at least free. So if you want to check it out, I can give you the link. Actually, I do have the link somewhere. It's this one. So if you are interested in checking out this package for the debugging, you can draw arrows, some usual shapes like capsule, like I've demonstrated, lines, and also text, as we've seen. And even enums are apparently displayed as the enum name and not in value or whatever. So it's quite powerful for debugging if you don't put it everywhere. Actually, I don't need the color anymore either. That was for debugging. And that's it. So let's go through the algorithm once more. We start with a lot of stuff that is folded, so let's put them back. And okay, so this one is just to assume that I'm always going in the same direction at the same speed, not not anything particular. The gravity direction is defaulted to the up or down vector rather. So I'm always trying to go down. I'm updating the local transform position, so I'm using position as a temporary variable for the whole algorithm. And the first thing I do is to project on the gravity plane the movement direction. So in that case, since it's just straight, it will produce the same result. But if you add variable gravity, it would reorient the movement direction on the plane, the gravity plane. So let's actually reorient the movement vector on the gravity plane. And this one, actually, let's move it up. No, I can't do that. Movement direction, yeah, let's change that and say it's based on the distance, because that's just my input. Oh no, sorry, my bad. This one is normalized. Why did I do that? Where is it used afterwards? Can I remove that? No, it's used here. Okay, so it's used for the okay, it's used to check that I'm not going the opposite direction, so it's not actually this. So this one do reorient the vector and normalize. Get the movement direction to prevent bouncing. How to say, prevent bouncing. In the opposite direction of the opposite movement. In the opposite direction of the movement. So is that okay? Yes. Try to move and resolve obstacle collision iteratively by sliding or stepping. What did I just do? Sliding iteratively. Iteratively collision. Okay, so for this one, initialize a cast from the position the entity, from the current position of the entity. Initialize. Okay, update the cast direction and distance depending on the supporting type. On the current supporting type of the entity. Okay. Here we go. And for this one, for the ground, we can actually need the cast input. So let's extract this part. Extract method, and let's say project movement on the ground, because that's what we are doing. We are projecting the movement on the ground. Let's go. And where did my method go? I want all of that. Refactor extract method. Project movement on the ground. Next. Okay. Okay, so it's creating a bunch of variables which are empty, so I'm really not sure why. Okay, so it created them because they were created here, so I can move them up and add a to do. Delete. There is a to delete. Okay. No. Okay. To delete. After refactor. Because it was requiring them for after that. So project movement on the ground. So here we compute the distance traveled to preserve the magnitude of the move. Here what we are doing is projecting, so we have the movement plane, so project the movement on the ground plane adjusted by the direction by the movement direction plane. This prevents the entity to be how do we the entity movement direction to be affected by the slope. That should do it. And then we scale back the projected movement to the initial movement magnitude. Initial and finally we adjust the cast distance to check for other obstacles. Okay, we can do the same kinds of things here for this one, and there is actually already some comments, so let's keep them and see what we get. Project movement on along the wall, and I messed up. Check the movement, okay, along the wall, okay. So in this one, okay, we apparently do need them. Actually, I can declare them right here, so I don't need them above. Okay. So we correct the normal to be on the gravity plane. Is that a correct assessment? Yes, but we do that. Okay, prevent moving. Okay, so this doesn't make sense. Okay, so this one is projecting the movement on the gravity plane. But why am I doing it here? I didn't do it here. Did I? No, because I'm already reorienting it based on the slope of the ground. So I'm not actually moving along the gravity plane. I'm moving along the slope plane in this case. In this case, I want to move along the gravity and then I'm projecting the movement along the wall. So after this one, I'm doing the projection along the wall. If I'm not doing this one, is it an issue? So first, let's try. Okay, let's make sure that we didn't break anything with this refactor already. We already broke something, because this should not be going away. He's going inside the So let's revert this one. Okay, this one is already breaking stuff. I don't quite understand why. Just extracting the method is breaking stuff. What? Am I reusing the corrected normal somewhere after that? No, it's within this one, so it's just extracting this should be okay. So this one is okay. But if I take this, I was not using a reference type for this. I think that's my issue. Extract method, extract project movement on the ground. Okay. And here the issue is that the collider cast input is not a ref type, because I'm actually changing it, so magnitude can be declared directly. Plane normal, corrected normal, and projected left over. Okay. And now checking again. Okay, so that was my my issue. So we can continue with the rest of the refactor, which was probably having the same kind of issue. So this one, refactor, extract method, extract project movement along the wall. I wrote it correctly, okay. And this one has the same issue. This one should be a ref, so it's not refactored correctly. Okay, everyone seems to be good. Yes. We continue the refactor. And we update this one. Extract method. And this one is project movement to climb the obstacle. That's what's happening here. same thing. This should be a ref. This should be a ref. And the climbing logic is here. I can still climb, perfect. Last refactor for this is quite a big one. And actually, I'm not doing what I'm saying I'm doing here, because the collided is based on this and not this one. So collided should be here, and this should not happen. And this one is no longer working as expected. And I suspect it's not the only one. Yeah, this one is also climbing up. So what was happening here? Collider cast input. So I was actually casting the full heights. Start, end. Okay. So this one is not doing what I was expecting it to do. Currently is doing the more restrictive approach of just casting the full capsule at the maximum step height. Yes. Which is not what I was expecting. Direction, distance. I'm not using this anywhere, in fact. I'm not using that. What I wanted to do here is not use this one. Use this one, but this one is not actually. So how is it implemented? Point 1, point 2. Actually, let's look at the other one. This one. Cast collider, there is an input. From that input, cast collider input. We get the collision filter. And we are doing the check against both volumetric trees. So it's checking the AB first, apparently. And if it finds it, I'm stuck here. Because I don't understand where does he get the position from which he's doing the cast here. Because it's getting the capsule geometry. Good. Then it's getting the distance. The direction and the distance. Point 1, point 2, radius, direction, distance. It's starting from the center of the capsule. So I need to create the capsule at the point I want it to cast from. So this vertex 0 needs to be updated with the position, in fact. With this. This one should not be math up, but minus gravity direction. Yes. And I am still using the other one, so let's try that again. No. No, 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 no. No. Not what I want. Because this is useless. This is completely useless since I'm not using it. Recompiling. Let's go back to this one. There is no. It's okay. I'm not using the custom capsule cast. This one is behaving correctly. This one is not. Is there a way to debug this one, to draw it? So that's creating the collider, okay. And it's really starting from the center of that. So the center of that is 0.1 plus 0.2 divided by 2, which is one more. This one plus this one divided by 2. So new let's create a shape sphere at this point and a radius of 0.5f with a color red and a duration of time step. Okay, so it's casting really nowhere. So now if I do what I did earlier, which is add this, if I add this to my both of them, where is it giving me the casts? It's giving them at the correct, seemingly the correct position. Okay, so let's draw a capsule this time. So for the capsule we need to have center, rotation, height and radius. So center it's okay, rotation will be quaternion identity, and height, the height will be let's do 2 for now. See what it throws us. And it's still drawing a sphere, so one too many comma. One too many comma, and so it's not the height I'm expecting, because I'm expecting to cast from the maximum step height. And I'm clearly not doing that from the maximum step height. Capsule radius plus maximum step height. That should give me the first one. This one maximum step height is 1. So this should be correct formula. And that's because I'm already adding it here. So I need to not update here. Or to say that I don't have the step height because I have it here, and I don't have the step height because I have it here. Okay, that's more reasonable. And to draw. So did that solve my issues? I try to use it. Okay. No, that did not solve all my issues. Did it? No? No. This one should not climb. These two are okay. This one is sliding. This one is stuck. That's okay. So this one is the default one that should not be able to climb. Why are you climbing? Distance, normalize distance. Yes, that's because I still have my magic number here, which I didn't take into account here. So distance plus normalized distance. Yes. So here my issue is that I'm not trying to go far enough in the movement, so I'm not actually detecting the slope before me. So I'm saying that okay, I can step and then I can continue stepping up the slope. So I should get this I should get this for the distance and not only this one. Maximum distance is this plus this. Oops. Hopefully that solves it. Yes, that do solve it. That does solve it. Okay, good. And now we do have the capsule cast that is using the shrunk down version of the capsule. So let's maybe clean this one up a bit because it's quite confusing. So we compute the position of the step nose and adjust the cast position to start above. So that's not correct. We compute the position of the step nose. That is correct. Then we compute the new cast. Okay, so this one can be removed. Would be okay. Yes. Okay. And this one is not actually used anywhere. Or we could say that we have the var cast direction, which will be equal to this one. The var cast distance, which would be equal to this. Okay. And the end, which is not used, I don't need to update it, so I can do cast direction here and cast distance here, and explain that okay, so let's check that and remove the magic number after that. Okay, and for the magic number, what I think I can do is to compute the maximum distance, horizontal distance. So cat, I don't remember in which order that is. So let's check that. So I'm in a situation where I want the horizontal, so let me share that with you. I'm in a situation where I want to compute the horizontal distance that I could go based on the slope. So I do have the slope. At my current speed, no, at my given height, so I have the height, one meter or 1 unit, the maximum step height. Given this distance and the slope, how far can I go? So I have this angle and this data. So if I have the opposite side, I want the adjacent from this angle. So the adjacent will be the opposite divided by the tangent. So I should be able to compute it with that. So the one here should be the opposite, which is the collide and slide maximum step height divided by the tangent of the slope. So I need to compute the slope. Which I do compute already in my classify, which is here. Slope of the angle. Okay, perfect. Go back here. This one is an RW. Computing the slope of the angle and slope angle. And this one I think is taking radians. And I'm computing it in degrees. Then I'm not sure if it's taking radians or if it's taking degrees. It's not written. Let's try it like that. Yeah, no, not working. Let's try it like that. Maybe the computation is all wrong. No, it's okay like that. Okay, so that's no longer a magic number, which is good. I'm just doing twice the computation because here I'm doing degrees and on the other side I'm doing radians. So maybe I can remove that here. So I can remove it from here and actually in the check actually where do I use slope angle maximum slope? I use it here, so I can do radians here. So I do radians only once. And that's still working correctly. Good. Actually, I want to rotate this one a little bit more to make it quite obvious. Okay. So going back to these ones. Explaining all of this math or this mess. Both pronunciation would work in that case. So basically here what I'm doing is create a capsule at the position of the player. The capsule is placed at the height of the maximum step for the player. The capsule is shrunk down based on the size of the potential step to prevent excessive collision with a ceiling event. So that should explain what we are doing here, and then we are doing the actual cast. Okay. And this one, refactor, extract method. Try to step up. Try to step up. To step up the step. It's a bit redundant. Try to check if the step can be passed. It's not really checking it because I'm just creating the collider. So So actually, let's rename that project the movement trying to step up. Okay, and I get out the cast distance, the capsule geometry. Let's check if it works. If it works, it's okay. I didn't break anything, so it's okay. This refactor part is okay. This one, there is already quite a few comments, so we only move if it's not a step or there is sufficient space to stand on the step. Okay. And we only need to classify the support actually if there is actually something to change the classification. No. No, I need to reclassify it even. I need to classify it again even if I did not want to move, because it will switch from being a step to being a wall if I didn't move. And I did not change the yes. So I do need to classify that every time. I'm seeing something that is worrying here. Huh. I didn't see that a minute ago. Was I mistaken? Let's change back. This one is just comments. Okay, so that's working correctly. So it means that this is okay, but there is an issue here. There is something that's supposed to change that is not changed. And what could it be? What am I writing to collider cast input? But it doesn't really matter. Why am I returning the... What is this refactor? It's quite peculiar. So I do need the capsule geometry. I do need the cast direction, the distance. My collector is already there. So I need to get out. So actually, let's go to this one and say we create a new one. And actually, working with burst, I prefer to have static void methods and just do in and ref and outs to be clear about what's getting in, what's getting out, and to be able to actually modify multiple or to get multiple returns without using tuples and stuff like that. So let's do it like that. Let's do a void, and this one is projective movement to try to step up. That's what we are doing. And let's take the code that is here. put it there. And what am I missing? I'm missing the position. So if I put in this one in float3 position, in float3 distance, and in gravity direction ref. Okay, I'm not writing anything here, so that's good. And if I call this method over here, I need to provide in the collider slide RW the in position, the in distance, the in gravity direction, get a ref collider cast input as exit, and actually no, don't need that. What I need is the capsule geometry, cast distance and cast direction. So out of this one, I don't need that. This one I need it as input, and it will complain here. And I'm going to say that this one is the var starting cast position. Okay. Great. So that can be an in, and now I can have as out a float3 capsule geometry. Capsule geometry, which is going to be player capsule or just capsule geometry. Let's not complicate things. And this one is this one. So that's what I'm producing. I'm also producing the out float3 cast direction. And the out float cast distance. Okay, that's good. And oops, here I have to fix this one because I need an out. No, I need to. Oops. I need to put back in the collider cast input out float3. No, out capsule geometry player capsule out float3 cast direction and out float. Can you out cast distance? Okay. And it's still screwed up. That is exactly what I'm supposed to do yet. cast input. Because of this one, capsule cast input start has to be updated to be reused here. So I do need to update it. And this one is then a ref. Okay, and since it's a ref, I can go back to that and to use this one here. Try again. Better. Okay, so we are working correctly again. And we are trying to streamline a little bit the code here. We need to use a custom cast to be able to use a shrink down version of the player capsule. Okay, and we collide here. We do that, so minus distance. We classify the support. If there was no it, we just move to the end of the position. And if there is no more distance or not sufficient distance to go over, we just break. And here, same thing. Here, it's actually the opposite check. It's actually the opposite kind of check we want to do. What is the maximum vertical distance we should check? So if I go back to my thcat stuff, I'm above the ground somewhere. How far down should I check? Based on the distance I traveled, basically. So it will be, I have the adjacent, I want the opposite, and I have the maximum slope. So it's actually adjacent. No, it's actually the opposite I want. So it's actually adjacent times the tangent. So what was my distance, my travel distance? So it's this one. Or is it the original one? I can remove those now. I'm tempted to say that it's my overall distance and not just the last one. But maybe I can get away with just the last one, because the last one is the last one that I did not collide. I think it's safer to go this distance. And actually it should be it should depend on the... It should be twice the slope, and it should depend on the step also. So maybe I can just use the step. If I just use the step, and maybe I should also snap down only if... Yeah, there are cases that are coming to mind now that I didn't take into consideration. If there is a collision, if there is a collision, I'm moving basically. But maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should move only if if I'm saying grounded. There may be some fixes that needs to happen to this one once we get it to actual player movement in a real environment. Because I'm thinking about cases where I don't want to check too far down. So if I'm going off a cliff, like basically, so let's go back to this. Actually, this use case is kind of a good one. Here, I'm casting way down and snapping to the ground. And I actually don't want to have that. I want to still keep on the ground here when I'm going downhill. But this one is too big. So if I check like just one unit, distance to check. Actually, that's the distance to check also now. Travel distance, ground direction, distance to check. Is that correct? Yes, that's still correct. So now if I check like much more reasonable number, I'm flying away. That was unexpected. Why are you flying away now? Okay. So there should probably be some kind of additional state for unsupported. Because I suspect that here I'm not colliding with anything. And if I'm not colliding with anything, so can I classify the support here? Yes. But I didn't get the hit. So I should just do else and collision support dot type equal unsupported. I had already started to put it in place apparently. And okay, so now if it's unsupported, it keeps going at the height it was before. For this one, it's okay. This one I was expecting to step down at least. And it's stepping up. Why? And it's already also not going in a straight line, I think. Yeah, it's slightly set of course, and for this one, this one can get pushed to the side. So there is still an issue on the stepping here, on the step up. Wall, it's detecting a wall at some point. You can see it. Ground. So it's already putting it at the step. So it had detected the step, and it's now saying that when I detected the step, currently I'm saying it's ground. And on the next one, I'm saying it's a wall. Where is that debug? It's this one when I'm classifying the stuff. So potential height is below the maximum step height, that's okay. And the previous one was not a step. I'm currently not doing a step. Which is correct. So now I'm saying it's a step. So when I detect the step, first it's a ground, which is normal. And the second time it's a wall. So is that because, okay, so when I arrive here, I'm saying it was the ground. So I'm trying to do my step up. I'm doing my step up. I'm moving a little bit forward, which is why I'm a bit above the step. And then I'm casting down. And when I cast down on this classification at the end, on this classification here, I'm saying, okay, I was initially on a step, basically. So this one should make no assumption. Or this one should say that it's unsupported. before and then do the classification. That seems to go straight. Yes, that does go straight now. So this one, okay. But then why are you here? Why are they moving up again at the end? It's something that I don't get. Supported moves up. Because it's trying to step. But why are you trying to step? In this one, in the classification, I'm putting it as a step. And since I'm putting it as a step, it's so here there is a small slope again, and now the slope becomes too big. So I should not be this or unsupported. Does no, that screws up everything. So that's definitely not the solution to apply. Because even when I'm stepping down, basically I'm considering it's a step. So I should avoid the stepping down to be classified as a step. Here it's also saying it's, yeah. So I may need to and if I trick the last one to say, okay, I'm always assuming it's a step to start, so it can never be a step. It's a bit of cheating. No, I'm getting stuck in there, so not what I want either. How can I check if I'm stepping down? What would be the logic for stepping down? Because the step up is working correctly. Can we ignore collisions that are not in the direction of the cast? Can we update that? Would this work? In my collector, I think the collector is started at the top. So I'm actually ignoring myself. Returning false. Okay. And hit dot. I don't have the normal. I don't have the normal here. Hit fraction. I don't have the normal within this one, so I can't check it as part of the collector. And I should probably not ignore all of them, but I should not classify them as step either way. So I can actually go back to my classification algorithm, which is here, where I do have the normal based on the ground direction. Okay. Can I get it based on the movement or the cast direction? I got the position. Because here I should probably classify it as unsupported if I'm not going to consider the step. And maybe I need to handle unsupported behavior. Maybe that's the main issue, because I'm not doing anything when it's unsupported. When it's unsupported, I continue. I mean, it's not... Let's... How can I do that? I need to handle the step down. What is that? There is a brutal room, cheap viewer or something. I don't think that's appropriate. So let's ban you. Okay, sorry. There was a message on Twitch that felt inappropriate. So Actually, can I see if there is anyone on Twitch? Because I'm checking YouTube, but apparently no. I don't see anyone on Twitch side. Or at least streamer, but is not reporting it. Okay, so let's try to do the thing with the movement direction. So float 3 movement direction. Movement direction. Okay. So I have it here. I need to add it here. And to get that, actually let's do it simpler. Why was this not working again? What was the behavior? It's getting stuck over there, and this one is sliding all the way over there. And moving sideways. I was really hoping to have solved all of the issues and just do some refactoring, but there is still some stuff that are not working properly. This is really the stepping down that is messing with me. Because I'm unsupported. So if I'm unsupported, I'm classifying it as a step. And since I'm doing a step, I'm doing the cast up. And I have no collision, so I continue on. And I don't want to do the cast up. So can I just say that if full grounding pass, if I'm doing the grounding path, I don't want to be able to classify that as a step. I think that will screw up or something else. So this one is true and this one is false. And let's see what disaster awaits. It's compiling scripts. No, it's still doing the same thing. And I'm stuck on top of them here. Okay, so that is definitely not what I need to do. I need to prevent being categorized as a step if I'm stepping down. And I have no clue how to detect that without not detecting that I'm stepping up. The worst thing is that it's working correctly for some cases. And others, like here, unsupported. So if I'm unsupported, or if I was unsupported, I can categorize that as a step. And if I do that, I can step. So is there a way to... I think I only can do that if I'm checking the alignment of the direction I'm going in and the normal that I'm checking. So if I go over there and the normal is somewhere there, it's a step up, and if it's the other way, it's a step down. So I need my movement direction in my classification. So float 3 movement direction, and we'll figure out how to compute that later. And we can do a dot product, mass dot product between the direction and this normal, support normal. And if they are in the overall same direction, so same direction means above 0. Should not be in the same direction for it to be a step. And that's not compiling because I need to have the movement direction here now. But for this one I have no movement direction. And for this one it is basically this movement direction equal this one, and I can put this here. And for that I need a direction. I basically never... I don't never want to have that. So the only one I can take is this one. Movement direction, that is here at the top, which is my initial player movement direction, not necessarily the direction of after the bounce. Now it's still stepping up. And it's no longer stepping above this one either. So this one gets stuck, which it should not, and this one keeps stepping up. And basically all the step. So maybe I inverted my check actually. Maybe it should be like that. Okay, but I'm now stuck here. Stuck over there and stuck on... I'm basically stuck on every step down. I don't remember. Can I check the state of my support here? If I take this one, which seems to be more stable. Do I have that in the debug? This one support wall. I can see it here. So it's considering it a wall for this one. Which is this one? But that's not a wall. So can I do that here? Yes, and that's working like as I want. It's working as I want it to. This one is... Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's go. So this is basically ignoring any slope that is not... So it's only considering slope ups. So if it's not a slope up, basically I don't really care to categorize that as a wall, because I'm going away from it basically. So if I'm going away from whatever the surface is, I ignore I ignore the stuff, and I say, okay, it's like as if I was grounded. Does that make sense? It seems to be working either way. Let's check this case, because it's the one with the most chunky behavior. Okay, just want to check it. Yeah, it's flying up quite a bit in some cases. So that seems to be when it's hitting a sharp edge. So it's considering it as a step, because I have this little tag that only appears. So it was grounded and now it's detecting a step. So that's why it is casting up and then down. So I need to at least, but I'm already having the maximum step height. Here. That should already be the maximum step height, because I already have one. Let's put back the 10 and check if it's still flying around. No, so it is a question of casting distance. And if I put the collide and slide maximum step height plus, actually I need to add the shell, distance, because I'm slightly positioning myself above the last class, so I need to add that. Yes, and that keeps being grounded with the minimum distance to check So this one is okay, and let's see how it behaves for these ones. I think it's this one that's climbable, but I don't remember. Okay. So that's good. That's good for me. Hello there. So that's good for stepping, but I need to involve the slope also here. So basically this is the step down distance. And for now, if I just check that, it's okay, but I need also to have the slope down distance, which we were saying earlier that it needs to be the cosine. Cosine was it? I want to compute the opposite. So no, it's adjacent times the tangent of this one, and the adjacent will be basically my velocity. So the velocity I was currently moving at, which I assume I'm computing at the top here. And I'm actually not computing it. Distance. So let's just do it like that for now. It's cheap and dirty. Mass dot length of this times we said mass dot tangent of the slope angle, and the slope angle I don't have it yet because it's this. No, it's not the slope. It's not my support slope angle. It's my maximum slope. So it's collide and slide dot max slope, and I want that in radiant. So mass dot what mass dot radians of this. And I think I actually want twice that, because if I'm just at the edge of the top of a maximum slope, and right after that I have an opposite slope, then by the time I moved along the slope, I will have 2 times the difference with the ground. And actually I'm wondering if I should also add twice this. At least once. At least once, and probably twice also. For the same reasons. Let's check if we broke something. No, apparently we are okay. apparently we are okay. And we need to take the max between the two, just to be sure. Okay, so that may, if the step height is very big compared to the maximum slope and speed, it may make you snap down some big cliff, let's say, or some higher slope, let's say, but I think it's okay. And with that we can remove this to do, because we did find a way to compute it without having a magic number. We need to, so that's okay. We need to check the ground distance. Okay. For the slope, we need to check twice the vertical distance the max slope would drop at the current speed, in case we were at the of a maximum slope up just before the no, not just before, slope up for the last bounce check. Maximum. Let me know if the explanation I'm giving in these comments or is not clear enough, or it doesn't match what I'm saying verbally, because I want to document this properly. So if it doesn't make sense, that would help me to fix that. And I think we are pretty much done. I'm not sure the unsupported one needs to have some kind of behavior. For now it doesn't have any, so it just keeps going on. That should be fine, because when we will integrate that with the actual character controller, so the velocity verlet integration method. Okay, thank you Kuzma, sorry, and welcome to the chat. So yeah, I think that for the unsupported type, so basically when I'm going after the climb, for instance, I can stay up, because when I will integrate that algorithm with the velocity verlet for the actual movement of the character, to manipulate the movement of the character, I should apply gravity when it's not supported. So if I'm not mistaken here, that will allow me to check that this one is unsupported, yes, and that I need to apply gravity to it, so it will go down to the ground slowly or fast, depending on the gravity. So that should be fine for this algorithm to do that, or to do nothing, basically. So it's really focused on handling the collision. It doesn't care about movement, it only cares about resolving the collision, so that it's respecting, or it's verifying the constraint of the actual character controller. So I can define simply let's say the maximum slope at which I can go, the maximum step I can move up, the size of my character, and so on and so forth. If there are climbable surface, this one can be climbed because it's a cliff. So if you put it in the cliff layer, it should be climbable. And of course, you could extract that to say, okay, this capsule collector can climb on this, and all of these, let's say, physics layer are considered to be climbable. So that should be okay. Actually, do you want me to do that, to have that as part of the authoring component? Because right now it's hard-coded, so that's probably a good idea to parameterize that, because in the classification here, it's hard-coded to be 3. So let's add a collision filter to my object. Public I don't know if it will. That's a struct, so it should be okay. Collision filter. Oops. Will that be compiled here or not? Maybe not. Let's try to. No, it's compiling. Okay, so let's wait for the compilation. Domain reload. How does it present it? If it presents it, no, it does not. Okay, so it's not presenting it. So let's yeah, it's a struct, but this one I'm not sure. Yeah, this one is not marked serializable, so it won't show in the editor. So I will just put a uint. I would need to do yeah, I would need to do a proper authoring component. So actually I can actually let's do it like that. Collision filter, and in my authoring component let's add a public physics layer. No, layer mask, physics recast layer mask. Will that show up? Climbable, because this one is also a struct. I don't know if it will show. Yes, it does. So I can set here cliff in my authoring component. So I am selecting it here, and this one basically is not shown. And when I do my collide and slide, either way I'm creating a default support, so I can also at the same time do the collision filter and say collision filter dot default. No, default is collide with everything. I want 0 basically. Var climbable filter, and the climbable filter dot belongs to will be equal to my authoring component dot climbable dot value, and casting it as a uint, otherwise it doesn't like it, and then I can set it. And that's too big because I just need one side of the collision filter, but it's not. Let's not over optimize it, just make it work. Because this one basically is containing 2 uints when I just need this one, and it also has the group index. So I would not need all of that. But if I do that already, let's check if I look at the runtime for this entity, collision filter, and belongs to 0, which is not what I expected. I expected to have 3, so we'll try it, but I assume it won't work. Support type. Depending on the layer of the obstacle. Okay, I'm choosing here basically if those are equal. Compared to a uint value. Collision filter. Is there a method? No, it's just the values. So belong to, and this one is equal to collide and slide dot. Oops. This one dot collision filter belong to. No, it's the same thing. Why am I doing that? No, here it's the support, and here it's my configuration, so that's okay. Let's try that. That's working. I can still climb. It's okay. So I'm not sure what's happening on this one. Where is my belongs to 8? Okay, so 8 is 2 to the power 3, so it's the third layer, so that's okay. So there you go. It's working. I don't know why the conversion from here was not showing that. Okay, it's strange. It's not converting it if it's not in runtime, but there you have it. Configurable stuff. So actually, let's check if I pick this one and say it's climbable water, whatever. And this one can climb water. Should behave the same as the other one. Yes, perfect. Climbable nothing, and if I set nothing, it doesn't climb. Perfect. And I could I won't do it, but you could have actually you can already do it. Okay, so you can have it like that. So we say that it can climb a whole bunch of stuff except for cliffs. So this one should work. No, it's not working anymore because they are not equal. So actually the check that I'm doing here is not correct. How do we do a Boolean check? Because it's not the same number actually. There is not a utility method for that. Is collision enabled? Collision filter A, collision filter B. Okay. Let's try with this one. and this one, and put that here. So if it's enabled, it's a cliff. If not, it's a wall. Try again. No one is climbing. So that's not exactly what I wanted. I was expecting it to group index are not the same. Maybe my group index is I need to fix my. Let's check the group index of this one, because I've set it to no group index is 0. So that actually doesn't matter, and this one, filter A belongs and collides with. So I just need to do a one end. I just need to do that, in fact, between the two belongs to. So I need to put and here, and is not 0. Cannot apply it to uint and bool. Belong to. I need the parenthesis. Okay, and parenthesis. Okay, let's try that. I think it's already worked. Yes, I can climb it and I can set. Why not correct UVE set to water, but other check all, but not water? Or am I wrong? No, you're not wrong. What I was trying to do here is to say, okay, I can climb cliffs, so that's okay. But I could actually also check that I could climb multiple surface. And initially my code was not checking that, it was just checking a single exact layer, and not if the collision was belonging to one of the allowed layers. So that's why I changed the implementation here to actually check that if I do. So I understand that this one is basically a logical operator that will give me, if two of them are aligned, at least the result will not be 0. So if at least one is not 0, it means that I can climb it. So that's why I'm setting different layers here. And actually, if I check everything but do everything but no, sorry, but the water in this case, because this one is water, I should not be able to climb. Yes, and I cannot climb, so it's okay. That is working as expected. And actually, let's leave it like that, because it's a no climb example. So that is working also. And I'm pretty happy with this collision response algorithm. I started with simple, in quotes, collide and slide, which already took me some time to figure out. But I do have the step managed, even if the step is slanted or sloped, or if it's like a weird shape step. So this one is not climbing because actually, or is it climbing in this state? No, it's not climb. It's not. This may be an issue. You're supposed to climb 45 degrees, and this one is 44. You should be able to climb. Let's try 30 degrees, and you are able to climb that. So there is something. Huh. Oh, there is still something not working. This one is considering it itself unsupported before stepping. Yeah. I will need to add again debugs to it to understand what is it casting, because normally it's detecting a step, so it should go. Actually, I think it's not going far enough. Is that possible? No, it should. It was grounded, so it moved up, and now it's considered unsupported. And no, that would be too beautiful. Too easy. So that's not just that. Because normally for this one, I do have a small step, but it's below my maximum step, so I should step up, keep going, and the slope is not too big. 40 degrees, because my character can go up to 45. So it should be able to keep going, and it's not. So is it because I'm colliding actually? Collision here. If it's not a step, or if it's a step, it needs to have traveled. Yeah, but if the speed is not sufficient, it won't travel this distance. Let's check this hypothesis. So if I take my capsule and say, okay, it's moving twice as fast. Yeah, it's climbing. So I have an issue with this logic. It needs to have traveled to be able to travel more than this. or the maximum distance, but if it's the maximum distance, no, it will collide still. It means it's collided here, so otherwise it... Go back to 10. Should keep colliding. So if it did not travel that distance, I'm classifying the support. And after that, if it was a step, but I've already changed it. Because I need to move. Here I'm not moving because of that. So I need to check that, okay, I hit something, but it's something that allows me to stand on it. Because if I just remove this condition, no, it's not even working. Did I save? Compilation. Okay. No. So it's the issue is not this. Do you guys have any idea why it would not go up if the speed is not sufficient? Because if I update the speed to 20, it's working fine, as all the others. So it's only if the speed is not sufficient, but the slope can still be climbed. So I'm suspecting something about the casting distance, because if the speed is greater, the casting distance is greater. So am I actually not colliding here? Am I not even going there? Just do a debug log. Collided. Oops. And in the hierarchy, I will disable everything but this one. So it does collide. What does it collide with? So actually, let's start again drawing. It's easier to see the drawing. So new shape arrow. It starts from the closest it dot position. it represents the closest it dot. Something with the heights, it can pass with higher speed due to the physics calculation. Yeah, there is no actual physics calculation here. There is no rigid body, nothing. All of the physics is happening here. So if it's actually moving faster, I'm just casting further the collider to check for some collision, and in that case maybe I'm reaching a different angle or a different slope. I don't know, but it's probably what's happening. Color. The auto completion is so color. Let's do magenta again, and duration time step. So I'm colliding over there. Okay. And if I do my speed 20, I'm colliding just here. What? So I'm doing the same initial collision, but when I'm slower, I'm hitting something. And when I'm faster, I'm not. What the fuck? No, I'm not hitting that anymore. And then I'm hitting it. So this hit is the step 1. But so in that case, what is the angle that is computed? Text in this position, and the text will be the compute angle that I have here. Tac, tac, tac. Retour, and compute the angle, and with this normal, and display that in a mass dot degrees, because what dot degrees. $80 degrees, so that's fine. 40 degrees. That's the expected slope. So this one am I showing this? No. I'm no longer showing this after that. So I am colliding. Okay. This is colliding, but it's not moving. So what are you saying? What is that? It's a step. So it's a step. And I need to have the travel distance. And let's put it in blue. This one. And let's actually plus mass dot up times 1 f 2f. So I'm supposed to move 0, 25. Which is the squared of my capsule radius, which is 0.5. That's correct. So if my move distance, so that is the issue. I mean, that's why I'm not colliding. So if I remove this part, I'm still not colliding. Doesn't make sense. Burst is not enabled. Let's force a recompilation. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you not collide here? Or is it because okay, let's try to put it, maybe it's hidden by something else. Hello, why Huin? I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. How are you? Where are you from, guys? To know what time is it on your side. So no, it's not. It really is not displaying it. Green. That will not help, I think. No, it's not showing. It's not there. There is nothing to see. Because it's saying it's a step. Ukraine, yeah, it's. I think it's like one hour more than me. It's probably like 2 in the morning or something like that, Kuzma. And I need to go to work tomorrow. But I really want to finish this one. Yeah, I really want to have this one done. Because I want to move on to the velocity verlet. And you, Hui, where are you from? Which continent, at least, if you don't want to tell us your country of origin? Or if you don't want to say, it's fine also. If you have any question, don't hesitate. If you are wondering what I'm doing, don't hesitate to ask. So, Look. This one is actually doing a step. So if it's a step, or I moved the correct distance. So so the logic should not be to remove it, but to change it. Okay. So the issue is here, is somewhere here. So I need to check something else. So if it's a step, I should have gone the minimum distance. Or actually, should I? Because basically the idea behind this check is to say, okay, you can only step up onto something that you have enough space to stand on. Otherwise, don't step up. So it's to cover a use case. I think I removed it, but let's duplicate that. It's to cover a use case like that. So if it's 0 here, there is a step here, and duplicate, there is like a wall or something, and there is not enough space to step on it. So normally it remains at the bottom of the step, which is what I want for this case, but not what I want for this one. And actually I see that it's noting it as unsupported. So maybe the check is if it's unsupported. No, but doesn't make sense. Because it was unsupported at the time I'm saying it's a step. So it's basically the previous frame. So here I am considering I'm doing a step. So there is something else to check. If I check that I actually can go the distance that I'm traveling, I think that would not prevent me from moving up here. Travel distance. So actually the distance here does not match the fraction of, because I'm casting further than the distance that I'm making in the case of the step. Because for the step I'm casting not only my distance but also the capsule radius and the max slope and so on. So that's probably my issue. Here this fraction doesn't match the distance I'm applying it to. Because this distance is just the distance that remained. It's not the actual distance of the cast. Whereas the fraction is the fraction of the cast that I did. So that's already an issue. Maybe it's not the one that I'm spacing here, but that's already an issue. So I actually need to figure out, can I go there? And do I want to go up to that distance? So casted distance. Travel distance. I need to do travel distance is equal to the minimum between my initial travel distance and the actual distance. Minus the safety distance after that. So this one is the same number for now, so that should not impact anything. Okay. But now if this distance is actually and that's why I would need cast distance. Float it's 0. It's not float 0. Okay, and in that case, the cast distance is equal to the distance. Cast input start end, or maybe not. Float cast distance. So I need to have it everywhere. Why are you returning distance? Okay, never mind. Cast and place distance. So cast distance is equal to the distance here. Cannot convert float 3 to... so I need the magnitude of that. Oh, yeah. But the magnitude is here, because I'm normalizing. Okay, so that's it. This one is good. Return to here and out cast distance. Okay, it's a bit too complicated. Let's do it another way. Let's do it like that. So this one is okay. Now I need if it's not a step, I'm doing that. There is too many ifs in there, but it's just to make sure that it's working as expected and can figure out the proper way to get the travel distance. And now the travel distance will be this one. Distance, no, not the distance. And I need Cast distance, that's what I have here. Cast direction, capsule geometry, collider cast, this one. And actually in that case, I will want to have the collider end. Cast distance. Collider end will be my collider start plus cast direction time cast distance. And that way I can do it the other way around. Here, over here, which will be my collider cast input. Travel distance, this one is a float 3, so start minus, I never know in which order I should put that, collider cast input and times the fraction. Will that work? Why are you not happy? Let's do float 3.0. You are happy now, okay. Okay, so it seems to have worked a little bit as expected. I just want to check the weird jump I saw. Yeah, there is a weird jump. There is a very, very weird jump. I'm not sure why. And before I investigate that, let's first check that it did not screw up the other cases. I screw up this one. This one. So that won't do. That will not do. Bon, I think it's getting late, so I will revert back to a state where it was almost working. I think this should be good. Okay, so everyone is working good except this one. So I really need to fix this one. I don't think I will be able to fix that tonight. It's already 1 in the morning on my side, and I have work tomorrow. Ah, the Chinese are coming in. Hello, hello. Ni hao. I speak a little bit of Chinese because my wife is Chinese, but don't write me in Chinese because I can't read it yet. But, yeah, welcome. Yeah, no, not sure which. Not sure if the first one is ni hao. I don't think it is. Let me translate that to test myself. Translating to Korean will not help me. Ah, comment allez-vous? Okay, so how are you for the first one? And the second one is basically losing outload. Okay, I'm fine. I'm starting to get a bit tired because it's 1 in the morning on my side, and I have almost all of my collisions working. There is only one small issue with this one, which is not stepping up where it should. And actually it's stepping up only if the speed is sufficient. So that should be its behavior in a slower motion. But yeah, I'm not sure how to solve this one. I narrowed it down to being an issue of actually checking the distance. And as I explained, basically the aim of checking the distance is to make sure that in scenarios like this one, you can't step onto something that you don't have enough space to stand on. And now it's screwing up this other use case. If the speed is 10, for instance, it's not going far enough. So I noticed that I made a mistake on this computation because here the distance in case of a step is not actually the distance of the cast, so it doesn't match the fraction that is here. And basically that's where I'm at. I need to solve this in some way, because I don't have the cast distance at this stage in the code, so I would need to have it for every single one of them, or to have an additional cast distance. If I do something like float 3 actually, step cast distance, initialize to float 0, and here I'm doing step cast distance equal to directions times distance, and here I'm selecting between the distance this or step cast distance question mark, and I need to check if it's not a step, I'm taking the usual distance. If it's a step, I'm taking this one. So that's not the solution to the issue apparently, because now this one is climbing everything. It stopped climbing. It's midway there, so that's almost it. That's almost it, guys. So let's do it like, oops. This one is the travel distance, and this one will be the step travel distance. And the step travel distance basically is a step cast distance. This. Let's remove the debugged rows, which are polluting the code a little bit, and this one is my step travel distance that needs to be higher than the capsule radius. And if it's not a step, I don't care. How? It's working. This one remains grounded like I want. This one goes through now. This one is okay. This one can climb. This one okay, okay, okay. So is it working? It's working. It's working. It's working. Thank you for saying hi and how are you, because that kept me going like a few minutes more, and that seems to have solved it. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support. I just need to put everything down into something like is clear, and then I can basically make a full video to explain all of that in a more structured manner, kind of not as extended as the dots tutorial I made, but same kind of quality, let's say. And then we can move on to the actual velocity verlet, which I already dabbled in, tried a bit, but when you start to add things like actual input from the player and jumps and stuff like that, it's getting too complicated for me. I can't figure out where to put the action on the velocity or on the acceleration and stuff like that. So I will take the same approach for this one, which will be to have a new project, blank project, where I will just start basic, just throw a ball and see how it behaves, and then increment it by saying, okay, now I want to be able to accelerate, decelerate, and so on, to manipulate the velocity of the character, the direction in which it's going. And then I will plug the two together, and once the two are plugged together, I will move to networking and not do like I started with, all together at the same time when I don't have any pieces figured out. So I think we've covered all cases for the collision response. Actually, let me remove that last row. So this one, and that's it. Okay. So there is no longer any small debugs happening. That's good. This one is not floating around. No. This one stepped, this one stepped, this one is stuck, that's okay, stuck, okay. This one there is no collision, this one slid to the side normally. Yes. This one remains straight, and this one is stuck and stuck. Okay. I think that's okay. I think we are good for all of them. So we have a collision response that can slide along the wall, slide along ground without being affected in the direction it's going in. It cannot step up things that are too high. It cannot move up slopes that are too steep. It cannot step up if it doesn't have enough space to be standing on it. It can climb, like for this one, specific surface if they have the appropriate collision layer, which can be configured from the authoring component. If the step is slightly sloped or inclined, it will still try to step above it correctly. If there is two collisions at the same time, it's handled correctly and not going through the tight space. If it's random stuff, it's going okay. Actually, let's check that I'm not flying. Okay, seems to be okay. I'm not flying up for some time, so that's okay. And the last one. This one is straight on collision, so it cannot go any further, and this one is the double bounce. So this one is to actually check that when I bounce once, I go over there. If there is another bounce that is taking me in the opposite direction or the opposite-ish direction of the movement, I'm not sliding basically. So the path of the player is always straight into the direction that he wants. So that's good. And for the step, I'm slightly more permissive. I am using the shrunk down version of the collider to do the step, to be able to step over this kind of step and still be constrained by the roof, like here. Basically, this one cannot step because it's blocked by the roof, so it will have to move sideways until it's no longer locked and it can move up the step. And actually, let me take a look at when that happens. Yeah, so it makes sense to have it visually like that. So it's okay. I think I'm done with this one. What do you guys think? Is there any scenario you can think of that I would not have considered here and could screw up the collision response? Actually, I haven't think anything since I've started the stream, so I didn't drink, I haven't drunk, I didn't drink. Pushing objects, yeah, it's not part of the so it's not part of the collision response. It's part of the collision response, but you're right. I would need to implement pushing objects. That's a good point. How could I push object? Because it's I was thinking it's more related to the Verlet integration, but in fact, no, it's a collision response thing. So actually, I have a collider. So let's take the no collision case here. Duplicate that. Move up. Because I think it may be taken natively by the collision engine or the physics engine, because I'm a kinematic character here because I'm creating my own physics collider here. I am making the physics collider. I don't have the physics velocity, so I'm not a dynamic body. So I'm wondering if this will be pushed automatically or not. I don't need the rotor script. Remove component. Actually, that makes me think of another. So let's add. There is a mesh collider already, so rigid body. And put it like that. No, that's not pushing it. That's stepping over it. Let me take another use case. So remove this one. Remove that. I will move it to a box collider. Okay, and I want it to be like not straight, so let's do 0.1. No, leave it at 1, 0.1 here, and 4 here. This one is kind of useless, but and I add a rotor script authoring on y at 0.2. Let's see. It's a bit fast, and I want it to run in the other direction. And I actually want my capsule to be much slower so I can see what's happening. It's kind of being pushed. It's kind of being pushed. Yeah, no, it's maybe needs some work, but yeah, moving platforms and stuff like that I think will be more the velocity verlay. So that was a fun test, but I don't think it should be part of this. But the collision cube actually is a good point. What did I do? Did I break my project? What's happening? What? Okay, it vanished. Never mind. Duplicate again, put it like here, one, remove the rotation script and add back the rigid body. Yeah, I'm just moving over the rigid body, so good point. I need to understand that part also. Basically, I need to apply an impulse to this one, something like that, to make it move away. And actually, I have a kind of a question. If I take another one, move it over there, and rotate it. What's happening? Actually, I don't need to rotate it. I just need to invert the velocity. This one and one. No, they just cross each other, so they are not even detecting each other as part of their collision. So okay, just to make sure, can I change the color of, or even better, change the shape of this one? Yeah, they are going right through one another. So that's another thing that I will need to figure out if I want them to be one another. Yeah, I should go to sleep indeed. Best way to understand dots and ECS? Follow my tutorial. shameless plug. So if you want to learn Unity ECS, I actually have a full playlist that I can link here. I need to take it back again every time. Otherwise, you can have a look at TurboMake's game channel, which also has a lot of content on that. You can look at CodeMonkey's channel. He also has a 6-hour tutorial on doing starting to do RTS game. So my tutorial is like tower defense. We build the tower defense game from scratch, and for every episode we add a new concept of ECS to update your skills. So I explain what the concept is, how to use it, and so on. It may not be always the best use of the concept, but it's probably the best example of what the concept does, like the component dynamic buffer system, jobs, stuff like that. And last, if you want, you can have a look at the code samples from Unity. There is a bunch of code sample project for physics, for netcode, for graphics, for a lot of stuff. So yeah, if you want to learn, do check all the resources out. And if you have a question during your learning journey, don't hesitate to stop by, say hi, ask your question live in the stream or even on Discord. I have a Discord server. Same thing, I would need to find again the link. I need to set up stuff for the stream to have like a stream deck to put on the links, but you should find that in the description of the videos or the stream to join the Discord server. So if you have any question, come say hi, ask, and someone will try to answer, probably me. And yeah, if that helps. If you want to support me, to support the channel, you have several options. You can use, and actually I have set up a command for that. Let me, hopefully it works. Let me trigger it. This one. Will that work? Yes, no, no, yes, no. Not sure. I need to enable it and to test it. So I don't know, it's not working already. Be ready to be spammed with a lot of links. Yeah, here they are. Okay, so it takes a minute, but yes, if you want to support me, like I said, you have several options. You can do that through the affiliate link to the asset store, to the Unity asset store, and actually there is a promotion ongoing with the Black Friday, a lot of stuff. You can also check the publisher of the week. There is one free asset every week. So if I open this one, once you have clicked the link, the affiliate link, you can go to sales publisher of the week, and you can get a free asset with the code that is displayed here. And otherwise you can do pretty much the same thing with Humble Bundle, and you can also donate directly on Ko-fi if you have the means to do it. It's always appreciated. Or if you don't want to pay anything, you don't want to buy anything, one thing that could help me a lot is to actually watch the videos, watch the streams, because I'm trying to reach the monetization milestone for YouTube, and I'm still like 2,000 hours short, or 2,100 hours short of watch time. So if you can share the videos, share the tutorials with people you know, it would help a lot. And yeah, I know yeah, okay. And then that's it, basically. Thank you for watching already. That already gives me some watch time, so I appreciate that. I am streaming on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 p.m. Paris time, so I don't remember, but it's 10 p.m. minus 1 hour for you, Kuzma, and probably several more hours for China. And I was planning, I was initially streaming on Fridays, but maybe I will move that to Saturdays, so I don't know. Let me know if there is some time you think you are more available to join, to chat, to stuff like that, because midnight may not be always a time I can stream. I can stay up to. Thank you too. See you in the next stream, in the next videos, and on the Discord channel, hopefully. Leave a comment if you have questions and stuff like that. That makes also interaction. Leave a like, thumbs up, stuff like that. Thank you again for joining, for watching, for the support, and for the suggestions. So see you in the next video, stream, time, whatever. Bye!